What is going on, everybody? My name is Jay. This is Unplayable, and me and Mike are here to talk to you about the new set 3 for Disney Lorcana. What's it called, Coach? Into the Inklands.
That's right.
Nice. I've said this in the Discord. If there's anything to be said about Disney Lorcana, it's that the art and the graphic design and the product design are just always on point.
They are. Yeah, I can't argue with that at all.
Everything about the way it looks is just so good, especially this set. This set has that kind of like, it's almost deserty look to it.
It's like a real sense of adventure, like Indiana Jones-esque.
Absolutely. I love it. Yeah. I think it looks so good.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we're super excited for the new set to be coming out. It does feel like maybe it's a little quick to be having another set already. We just got set 2. People are still getting product, but they're not letting off the gas. And nope. To be honest, I've not had an issue with people complaining about getting set 2 lately. I
haven't heard that too much on the internet about people complaining.
I mean, even set 1 stuff is getting restocks after restocks. And I mean, they said before they're going to be they're going to be hitting the print button on this thing. So if you want to sell your cards, sell them now, because the value is going to tank, in my opinion.
I mean, that's what people say they want, right? They want easily accessible cards.
Yeah.
That's what they're getting.
And if it's the Disney motto. All right. So we've got what we got. They're doing a booster box, obviously. They're doing new deck boxes, new play mats. New starter
sets. One of them has Scrooge McDuck in it. I don't care what Scrooge McDuck does, but I'm going to need that.
Absolutely. He's going to be awesome.
If there's a Scrooge McDuck enchanted card, you better believe I'm going to grab one of those.
There has to be, right? They got to do that.
There has to be.
And it's gold.
It's just gold. Yeah, it's a gold foil. The only gold foil in the entire game.
Yes. That would be sick. So what colors do we have here? We have red and blue, which they haven't done a starter set for yet. And then we also have orange and green, which is not a combo that most people play at all. It's not aggro-y.
No,
I'm just kidding. I used to love that color combination, but they haven't done that as a starter set yet either, which is interesting. So new color combinations, and the starter sets are fine value. You at least get a pack out of it, and then you get a couple of foils. So
yeah, I do love that you get a pack out of those starter decks. I think that's nice added value there.
Yeah, and they're not super expensive, and they actually usually play decent if it's a good gift. I think it's good to give someone that's getting into the game. Like, obviously it's not going to be anywhere close to the power level of like a meta deck, but for someone learning, I think these are a good product.
Yep, that's arguably a good thing.
Yes. All right, what's up next on and a gift set. They've done this for every set so far.
Did they do it for set 2? They did the Disney 100 thing. Did that replace the gift set?
Yes.
It did. Okay.
And I think they did, because they're very similar. They're even the same shape box and everything. So and they come with the same, they come with 4 packs of the new set.
Got it.
So it's literally the same thing, except you're getting a bunch of different alt arts instead of 2 big cards and 2 foils. Honestly, the D100 is way cooler.
Yeah, you get 6 cool foiled like alternate art cards versus the giant cards that I don't think anybody really cares about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, these will be a hot commodity. People will buy these if they can't get packs. So
for sure. Yeah, I mean, the Stitch looks really cool. I'm like, I've seen a lot of Stitch in this game so far. I've seen a lot of Tinkerbell in this game so far. I'm ready for some new characters.
Are these like the designer's favorite characters?
They must be.
Honestly, Maleficent, Mickey, Stitch, and Tinkerbell are some of the most popular characters.
And you can't forget Beast.
Oh, and Beast. Double legendary Beast.
Yeah. But what I am excited about is that they mentioned that the set will contain, as we saw, DuckTales characters, Scrooge McDuck, and then Tailspin characters, which is another animated series around the same time period as DuckTales came out. So I'm looking forward to those being in the game. That'll be fun.
Absolutely. They also said there's going to be more Treasure Planet. We're getting a new Moana. I can't remember who else. What other?
They got to do like Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. That feels like awesome. That feels perfect for this set, right? Like the exploration sort of like
Yeah,
adventure style thing. Same with Rescuer. Oh wait, is Rescuers Down Under not Disney? That's probably not Disney.
I don't know.
I don't
But
know.
did you see the new Chip and Dale movie?
I did not, but I heard about it. Did you
Dude, you
like it?
have to watch it. It's adult targeted
Yeah,
for sure.
I heard mixed feelings. Like some people have told me that it was really good, and some people told me that it was like really weird.
I thought it was fantastic.
Okay, I'll have to
It
watch it.
was sweet.
It looked entertaining.
Yeah, so they should bring those characters into Lorcana.
All right. So what are the themes around this set? What's the cool stuff that they're introducing in terms of mechanics and in terms of theme?
Obviously, you got to hit the nail on the head. It's locations right here, the Forbidden Mountain.
That's right.
So there's a whole QA you can go, I guess, watch. I don't know. It was a mess from what I hear because I wasn't there, but I got the TLDR. So basically, as you can see on the screen, locations are horizontal cards. They have a cost. They can be inkable or uninkable, just like a normal card.
Mm-hmm.
When you play it, it comes in horizontal, also known as like exerted in this game, and they'll never exert or tap or anything like that. They have a health value or a willpower value on the right, and enemy creatures can attack or spells can damage locations if they say location, but also creatures can attack it. And if it gets to that threshold, it gets discarded like a creature does. At the bottom right, you see a lore value. And this lore value is something you gain at the start of your turn every turn that this location is out during the set portion of your ready set draw steps. And then the number on the far left is the cost to bring a character from your player board to that location. Locations don't have a limit on how many characters can be there, and characters can move from one location to another, but a character cannot move away from a location and just go back to your player board. The only way it'll ever leave the location is if it moves to a different one. Or if that location gets defeated and banished, then all the characters on it just fall off back to your player board.
Interesting. So is there any value in putting your characters at the locations other than potentially abilities on those characters that trigger?
As far as I can tell,
No.
Okay. But they might do cards that are like defeat all your opponent's characters at a location, or not at locations, more specifically.
Right. That would make it worthwhile. Interesting.
But there is no inherent like benefit thing about being at a location.
I guess there probably will be locations that have abilities that trigger when you move a character to it, because this is obviously has no card text other than the flavor text on it. And I assume other locations will be more interesting than this, but this is already kind of interesting, right? It's almost like playing a 0/6 with one lore on turn 2 that you just passively gain lore from, right? Like, I don't know. Can you play a deck entirely made of locations and just like not interact with your opponent at all and win the game?
That's a good question. They don't. The thing is, they don't deal damage back. So if your opponent has heavy board control in terms of like their creatures are big creatures, they just take your stuff out and they keep their stuff.
I guess the locations can be attacked no matter what because they're always exerted.
It will be really interesting to go back and read text on characters that we have now. For example, like Tinkerbell, I think deals 1 to all your opponent's characters, and then when you defeat something, you deal 2 to another character, but it doesn't say location, so you can't target these. Rapunzel only heals off of characters, so that doesn't target locations to heal and draw. I'm interested to see what they do in this set with abilities that include locations and stuff like that. Like Be Prepared is, I think, defeat all of your opponent's opposing characters, so locations
locations wouldn't matter, right? Yeah, they're safe from that, but all your characters that are at those locations would still not be prepared.
Do you go locations if everyone's playing Be Prepared?
Yeah, right. If everybody's playing character removal, you just pivot and play a bunch of locations and win that way.
Does Rush specifically say it can be ready or used to attack a character? Or does it say location?
I don't know.
Anything? It doesn't say location, obviously, but does it say it can be used to challenge, or does it say challenge?
I think it can be used to challenge, but I think it can challenge the turn it enters play. I don't know if it specifies characters.
Okay. Another two more interesting things is bodyguards don't protect locations,
Hmm.
and your character does not have to be dry in order to move it to a location. So you
Oh,
could
okay.
play a character and then
And
immediately
immediately.
pay to move it.
Okay. Interesting. You're just smearing wet ink across your
Your
uh
player
your player
board,
board.
your play mat. Let's see. Were there any other Q&As that people thought were interesting? Any number of locations can be in play at once, and I already said that any number of characters can be at a specific location. So it could get very. I
Yeah, it could get a
imagine
little
it could get
cluttered.
very cluttered if you have a bunch of characters out. But
Yeah, that's
we'll
gotta
have
be
to
tough.
see.
I don't love the idea of moving characters around on a board when you've got potentially a bunch of tokens on those characters,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe it'll be okay. I
Yep.
don't know. Usually that gets a little clunky.
Yeah. So what do you think about that mechanic as a whole,
I
without
think
seeing any of the abilities yet?
I think it's interesting. It definitely adds another dimension to the game. It's very simple on its face, but opens up a ton of design space.
Mm-hmm.
I do worry about the clutteredness of the board and the potential for
Mm-hmm.
that, but maybe that is or isn't an issue. Like you now have to track damage on your locations as well as your characters. How do you spread things out so that you show that your character is at this specific location and not the one next to it, even though you've got so many characters on the one location that's hard to tell. I think that there's the potential for that to happen, but aside from that, as a mechanic itself, I do think it's pretty interesting.
How do you think that, does this bode well for aggro becoming possible? Because right now, I mean, even since that one, it felt like control was the only way you could play this game and actually do well in a tournament.
Mhm.
Do you think that this makes it harder for control to be able to like just keep your board clear? Because things like
Hmm.
swords, dragon fire, be prepared, don't hit locations.
I think only if the locations are like statted aggressively.
Mm-hmm.
I think you compare this to the Pinocchio that has 3 lore,
Mm-hmm.
and that's winning you the game a lot faster than this is.
For sure.
So I almost think that this just augments a control deck where your control deck just plays 1 or 2 locations early and then doesn't let your opponent stick any units or characters to remove those locations and just passively wins, right? I think it kind of makes the control decks better.
Yeah, it's very possible. I'm interested to see, because if a location aggro deck does pop up, say they have, depending on how they stat them, if they have like a 3 lore location that's not super expensive, then
Mm-hmm.
the control decks will have to have answers for both now. They won't be able to just clear your characters. They'll have to
True.
be able to clear your characters and your locations. It just depends on how fast it ends up being.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'm
Yeah.
interested to see what it shakes out to be. Without seeing any abilities. Now let's check out some of the characters that have been spoiled that reference locations. First one we have here is Piglet, a 2-cost inkable Gamboge 2/2 with 1 lore, and I'm the captain. While you have 2 or more other characters in play, this character gets +2. All right, this one doesn't refer to locations.
It doesn't, but it does look like a pretty good aggro card.
Yes. Three questing. Yeah, that's not bad. And Gamboge likes to have a lot of characters out on board.
Yeah. You
So
you play like Lilo turn 1, this turn 2, Simba turn
mhm.
3, and you're happy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You've
I think
got
this card's pretty good. I think it fits really well into my Snow White 7 Dwarves deck, because by turn 3, I have like 100 characters on the board.
100%. You're playing this for free off of dock or whatever.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I
like
like
it.
it.
That's cool.
It's super rare too.
Yeah, interesting. I do think it's good. I don't know if it feels super rare to me, but
It doesn't feel
yeah.
like a super rare card at all.
The rarities in this game have been kind of weird to me.
We got a 1-cost inkable Steel 0/3 with 1 lore. While this character is at a location and gets +2 power. Now this card's a little better. This card's statted pretty good.
Is it?
At a 1,
I think, but it's 2,
it is 2,
right? Like it costs
at
2 if you
least,
want the.
depending on the location.
Yeah, maybe there's locations that cost 0 to move your characters there.
Oh, that would be really, really good.
Then this would be good. Otherwise, I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad. I feel like Captain Hook though
It's just
is still
better.
probably better than this.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
It's a way less conditional 2/3.
Yes, absolutely. I think it's fine. Like you said, if they come out with a zero cost location to move there, then this gets obviously better. Otherwise, you're paying two for a 2/3 with one lore, and that just seems like bad value.
Yeah,
So, eh,
it's just not what you want to be doing.
no.
It's cool, a cool way to show what design space exists with locations. It's like, character gets X benefit while they're at a location.
Hmm.
That's a cool concept.
Yep, and they're all kind of like adventurers too. It seems
Yeah, I do like that too.
like
The
the
art
captain,
is
the
on point for
smuggler.
this whole set so far.
Yep. All right, we got Peter Pan 4 cost inkable emerald 3/3 with one lore pip. I came to listen to the stories. Once per turn, when this character moves to a location, gain lore equal to that location's lore.
This seems
That's pretty good.
crazy.
All right, so this is a card that you can gain lore out of hand.
Yes.
Because if you have, for example, a location that has 3 lore pips, you can play this and immediately move it there and gain that lore.
Yep.
Which is very
Really
goaty.
good. Yeah.
It's a very goaty feeling with less setup than goat, because goat you have to play and then bounce and then play again and do all those shenanigans. This is like you just play them and move them to a location.
Yeah, I guess depending on how much it costs to move your characters places, like you can just set up a turn where maybe you got like 10 ink or something like that, and you got like 2 or 3 locations.
This is once per turn.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
That would be insane if you could just move back and forth.
Sometimes I need to read cards.
I knew where I was listening. I was like, I know where he's going with this. And then I looked at it. I was like, it's gotta be once per turn. That would be bust, bro. You have 2, 3 lore locations out and you're just like moving back and forth.
I guess that's why it's only once per turn, huh?
All right. Next up, we've got a 2-cost inkable new song in Ruby. I've Got a Dream. This reads, ready chosen character of yours at a location. They can't quest for the rest of the turn, and they gain lore, and you immediately gain lore equal to that location's lore value. So this is more lore out of hand.
It's pretty spicy,
bro.
isn't it?
Yes. So is this all right? So the last one was, we looked at Peter Pan already. Can you make a blue-green deck that's like aggro and then close the game from hand kind of stuff?
Red with red green.
Yeah. What did I say?
Yeah, you said blue green. It's all good.
Sorry.
Yeah, maybe you can. I mean,
I really want to see more locations.
Yeah, same. That's what this all hinges on, right? There's got to be like an expensive location that's got 3 lore on it. There has to be.
Gotta be. And it's got like 3 health, so like it's easy to take out.
Yeah.
What's crazy too is they don't have to. So characters have to be exerted for your opponent to challenge into. Locations are free game as soon as you play them. So you don't get that turn where they can only be defeated by abilities to be able to make use out of them. So low health locations, I think, are going to be kind of bad.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Yeah, that'll definitely be tricky. I mean, the one that we have seen so far is 6, and 6 is a decent amount.
That's a lot for
only
2
cost. So, yeah, like what does a 5-cost location look like? That's what I want to know. What does an 8-cost location look like?
Does this if locations become good? I don't know if they will be meta or not. Yeah. We'll have to wait and see. But if there's high health locations, does that make support better?
Good question.
Because you have to have higher
attack.
You get better value.
Yeah.
Because you get to quest and then you use one guy that has high attack to take something
out. Like it. Yeah. And you don't take damage back when you're attacking a location, so it's kind of free.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you don't want to waste value swinging 3 guys to defeat a 10 health location.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So support.
Yeah. I mean, this card, I mean, great song, number 1. Great scene in that movie.
For sure. The artwork's sweet too.
And I mean, yeah, beyond the fact that you're getting free lore when you're doing this, essentially. I mean, you can combo this with Christopher Robin, right? And gain his lore as well. I'm sure there's other crazy stuff that you can do there. Do this
Spicy.
red green has the queen already, right? That you can use this to ditch a card from your hand and gain lore off of that too.
Yep.
So yeah, maybe that's a thing.
Hmm. That's gonna be wild.
There's so many combos in this game.
Yeah, I love it. How many of them are good though is the question.
Yeah. Well, that's besides the point. Are they fun?
Yeah. Well, that's the last. There are some spoiled in French, but we don't have the translations for those yet. So we'll dive into those
Yeah,
in
we'll save those for
our
another
set
time.
reviews that we never finish. But yeah, that's locations, and that is what we know about Into the Inklands so far.
Awesome. I'm pretty excited about this set. I think the theme is really, really cool. I love the properties that they're bringing in. I think locations are going to be interesting. A cool shakeup. We'll see if the design ends up being fun, but time will tell.
Agreed. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed it, and as always, we'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.
Bye.